I've been on this earth 29 years and I have never understood why people love toxic. It makes no sense. It just seems painful and quite frankly stressful to me. So that brings me on to today's topic. Let's talk about peace in relationships. Because honestly, it's not something people take seriously enough. Your partner should be your peace. It should be the person you come home to and feel a sense of calm, not chaos. But somewhere along the way, we've let TV, social media, and movies normalize the idea that constant arguments, screaming matches, and overall toxicity are just part of being in a relationship. But let me tell you right now, that's not love. It is crazy, and it's definitely not healthy. That we've all seen it. Those dramatic TV couples that fight like Tom and Jerry 1 minute, and the next they're passionately in love. It's entertainment on screen. I love to watch that stuff sometimes. But when it becomes the model we're subconsciously following in real life, it's a recipe for disaster. Screaming at each other, throwing insults, slamming doors. None of that is normal or acceptable. And yet some people think it's just part of being in love. It's not. It's a sign that something deeper needs to be addressed. And here's the truth. If two adults have a disagreement, it should be possible to discuss it calmly without anyone raising their voice. Now, I'm not saying you'll never have passionate debates or moments of frustration. That's part of being human. But there's a difference between a healthy disagreement and a full-blown screaming match. The latter doesn't solve anything. It just escalates the situation, leaving both people feeling misunderstood and hurt. Imagine we're having a conversation about politics. Then out of nowhere, I get heated and call you a dickhead. I start screaming in your face. Even if everything I say after that point is facts, you're no longer listening. You're just thinking, who are you calling a dickhead? You instantly get defensive. And it's natural, it's your biological response. You go into fight or flight. And the stakes get even higher when there's kids involved. But raising a child in that environment where yelling and fighting are the norm leaves scars. And the reason I know it leaves scars is because I've been that child. It's not nice. It teaches you to associate love with chaos, to think that arguments and tension are just part of life. And breaking free from that mindset as an adult takes a lot of work. So why not start by creating a home environment where peace is the priority? But most of us don't raise our voices with our friends. We don't scream at our co-workers, and we don't have random shouting matches with strangers. So why the hell do we think it's okay to treat our partners that way? The love of your life, the person you're building a life with. They should be your sanctuary, your escape from the stresses of the world, not another source of them. So if we wouldn't accept that behavior from a friend, why would we accept it from or direct it to our partner? And here's where it gets a bit complicated. A lot of people don't realize that creating peace in a relationship starts with doing the work on yourself. Before you even think about getting into a serious relationship, you have to take a hard look in the mirror. If you find yourself getting easily heated in situations where it's not necessary, it's a sign. If you notice insecurities creeping into your thoughts about how you look, how you feel, or how others perceive you, it's another sign. These aren't things a partner can fix for you. You've got to address them for yourself. And let's be real. If you don't work on those things before entering a relationship, they're just going to show up later. Maybe just start projecting your insecurities onto your partner. accusing them for things they haven't done or questioning their intentions. Maybe you'll let all that pent up anger spill out in ways that aren't fair to them. Either way, you're putting a burden on your partner that isn't theirs to carry. And one of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships constantly, you may have been part of this as well, is entering a relationship with unresolved trauma from the past. If you've been cheated on before and you haven't fully worked through that pain, it's going to affect how you approach a new relationship. You might find yourself doubting your partner, questioning their every move, or expecting them to prove their loyalty in ways that's unfair. And here's the thing, your new partner has nothing to do with what someone else did to you. If you don't do the work to heal, they end up paying for someone else's sins. Accountability is key here. It's so easy to point fingers in an argument and say, well, if you hadn't done this, I wouldn't have reacted this way. It's your fault. But there's that saying that when you point fingers, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. Real growth comes from acknowledging your role in the situation. Did you bring unresolved issues into a conversation? Did you let your emotions get the better of you? Taking responsibility for your actions doesn't just help you grow. It shows your partner that you're committed to building a healthy and peaceful relationship. So let's talk about what peace actually looks like in a relationship. It's not about never having disagreements. That's stupid and unrealistic. 2 people will always have moments where they don't see eye to eye. But it's about how you handle those moments. Can you sit down and talk through things without resorting to shouting or name calling? Can you listen to each other without immediately jumping to defend yourself? That's what peace looks like. It's calm, it's respectful, and it's rooted in love. And don't get it twisted, it doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or avoiding difficult conversations. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel frustrated or even angry sometimes. But it's how you express those feelings. Instead of lashing out and going rah, 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 take a moment to breathe. Think about what you're trying to communicate. Are you upset about what your partner said? Or is it more about how it made you feel? Getting to the root of the issue instead of just reacting makes all the difference. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it. Maybe it's a case of saying, babe, I'm going to talk to you later. Because you know if you speak in that moment, the words you say won't be coming from a place of love. And sometimes it's better to take a step back so you can articulate your words in a way that your partner can consume without being defensive. Another thing to remember is that peace isn't just about avoiding conflict. It's about creating an environment where both people feel safe and supported. That means celebrating each other's wins. Being there during the tough times, making space for vulnerability. When your partner comes to you with a problem, do they feel heard? Do they feel that they can trust you with their emotions? Those little moments of connections are what build a peaceful foundation. Let me bring it back to the work we need to do on ourselves. If you notice patterns of behavior in past relationships, like always being the one to start arguments or constantly feeling jealous, don't ignore those signs. Dig into them. Ask yourself why you react the way you do. Maybe it's rooted in something from your childhood. Maybe it's tied to an experience you never fully processed. Wherever it is, addressing that head on will make you a better partner and more importantly, a more at peace person. And I know all of this sounds a lot. And to be honest, it is. But the alternative, jumping into a relationship without doing the work, leads to so much unnecessary pain. And that pain might not just be yours. You could put that burden on your future children or your current children. When two people who haven't worked on themselves come together, it creates a storm of unmet expectations, unresolved issues, and constant friction. It's not fair to either person. It's not a foundation for a healthy relationship. So before you rush into something, take the time to focus on you. Build up your confidence. Work through your insecurities and learn how to communicate effectively. That way, when you do enter a relationship, you'll be coming from a place of wholeness. You'll be ready to contribute to a peaceful partnership rather than expecting your partner to fix things for you. And you might be watching this thinking, I've already found my missus, I've already found my man. And if you're already in a relationship, it's never too late to start making changes. Have an honest conversation with your partner about what peace looks like for both of you. Set boundaries around how you handle disagreements. Maybe you agree to take a break if things get heated. Or always approach tough conversations with kindness. Small shifts can make a big difference over time. And at the end of the day, your relationship should feel like a safe haven. Listen, the world is stressful enough as it is. Your partner should not add to that stress. They should be the person you turn to when things get tough, the person who helps you feel grounded, the person who makes you feel supported. And you should be that for them too. It's not one way. You also need to be their peace, just like you want them to be your peace. So let's stop normalizing toxic behavior. Let's stop acting like screaming matches and constant tension are just part of love. They're not. Love is calm. Love is kind. Love is peaceful. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. Life is a journey. But the first step is recognizing what needs to be changed and committing to doing the work, both individually and together. So I want to thank you for listening. I hope this sparks something in you. Whether it's a shift in how you approach your own relationship or a reminder to focus on yourself for a while. Either way, remember this. Peace isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. And it starts with you. I love you all. Peace.